Scene Mom says, welcome to the new podcast from former Phoenix radio host Danny Cutler. Each week bringing you independent music, industry news, the occasional interview, and other fun segments. Let's get to it. Scene Mom says hello and welcome to episode 63. I'm Danny Cutler, aka Scene Mom. Always happy that you have joined me. The heat is on here in New England. The past few days have been Phoenix spring warm. By that I mean 90 plus degrees and a heat index of over 100 degrees. Funny, before moving I never had to worry about a heat index before, but I'm new to this humidity thing. It's not completely unbearable for this former desert rat, though, so you just have to plan accordingly. I also realize that it is a privilege to say this because I have AC. So I've just been working away and making sure my plants don't die. Plus, the heat wave is only 3 days long, not 3 or 4 months long. Now we have 60s and rain the next couple of days. I will still take it any day over the dry heat of Phoenix. Seasons are pretty neat. And yes, I will bring this up every summer. Other than that, there's not a lot going on right now on my end. Both my daughters had birthdays this week, which always help me feel my age, or not feel my age, because I definitely do not feel 53 most of the time. I'm not sure how I have a 25 and 28-year-old, but I am super proud to be their mama. The older one is actually going to be out in August, and we're going to Fan Expo Boston, which is going to be fun to see how a Comic-Con works in another place other than Phoenix. I also have some shows coming up soon, as well as some fun networking events as well. But for now, it's work, and getting this show out to you too. I hope you have been staying cool and doing your best to balance the gloom and doom on a national level with some happiness right where you live. All right, I've got your music news coming up, some music history, a marketing tip, and a kind of weird story to share. Not as weird are the tunes. I have 5 awesome tracks for you this week, so let's get back to it with a sort of new single from Boston band The Ghouls. I say sort of because it was released in May, but when you only play a few songs an episode, it takes a little longer to get to the new music. It is worth the wait, though. Their debut album is out now, and they also won Rock Artist of the Year at last winter's Boston Music Awards. This is called Pocket of Gold, and Scene Mom says, wake up.
Carry a pocket You are listening to the Scene Mom Says podcast with your host Danny Cutler. Follow Danny on social media at Scene Mom Says on Facebook and D Cutler AZ on other platforms. Now let's get to some music news.
At France's annual Fête de la Musique on June 21st, a celebration that's known for bringing free live music to the streets across the country, a disturbing wave of syringe attacks occurred. At least 145 people, many of them teenage girls, reported being pricked by syringes filled with unknown substances while attending concerts and gatherings in these different cities. Police have arrested 12 suspects in connection with the attacks, including 2 identified in one city using surveillance footage and witness accounts. While toxicology tests are ongoing, authorities are investigating whether any drugs like GHB or Rofinol were involved, though no clear substance has been confirmed yet. The attacks appear to be part of a coordinated effort, with some officials pointing to prior social media posts that may have incited the assaults. Despite these incidents, tens of thousands of people still turned out for the festival across France, with authorities now increasing security and medical response measures at the public events. Now, investigations are ongoing, and officials are urging the public to remain vigilant, especially in crowded gatherings. Man, I would hate for this idea to catch on. I have so many friends, and also my daughters, who go to music festivals and concerts. So just make sure if you ever feel something unexplained, a prick, sudden dizziness, tell somebody and seek medical help ASAP. The New Hampshire State Council on the Arts is now at risk of elimination amid budget cuts proposed by the state legislature. In a closely watched move, the House Finance Committee approved an amendment by Representative Joe Sweeney back in March that removes funding, about $1.7 million over 2 years, for both the Arts Council and the State Library, aiming to save approximately $6 million overall. Supporters, including Governor Kelly Ayotte and arts advocates, argue that cultural programs are essential to the state's identity and economy. The governor included $1.7 million for the Arts Council in her budget and warned that removing it could mean New Hampshire becomes the only U.S. state without an Arts Council. Arts leaders highlight that for fiscal year 2024, the council distributed $1.5 million in grants across 180 organizations, and that the broader arts and culture sector generated $3.4 billion and supported 21,000 jobs. Now, opponents, including Representative Sweeney and other Republicans, describe arts funding as a want, not a must, especially during tight budget cycles. Sounds very familiar. One compromise amendment could transform the council into a volunteer board with only $1 in state funding, relying primarily on donations and federal matching grants. Critics warn that this model would leave the council unable to fulfill its mission without substantial state support. And that really is just a slap in the face. $1, they're basically just making fun of it. The full House vote, I think, is scheduled today, actually, as you're listening to this, followed by Senate consideration. So if funding isn't restored, New Hampshire will stand alone without a state arts council, which is a rare status. And it does impact federal matching funds via the National Endowment for the Arts. That's some scary stuff. I just went through that in my little town, which would have closed many things and definitely have a big effect on the culture in the town and the events that we have. So to see that happen at a state level is very scary. Spotify is facing renewed scrutiny after U.S. Senators Marsha Blackburn and Ben Ray Lujan formally requested the Federal Trade Commission investigate the platform's recent subscription changes. The senators are raising concerns about Spotify's shift to a bundled subscription model that now includes audiobooks, saying that it was done without user consent and potentially misleads consumers. At the center of the controversy is Spotify's decision to reclassify its standard premium music plan as a bundle, which allows the company to pay lower mechanical royalty rates under current U.S. copyright law. By doing so, Spotify has been able to reduce the royalties paid to songwriters and music publishers by about $230 million back in 2023 alone, according to the National Music Publishers Association. So many users are automatically switched to the new $11.99 a month individual plan or the $19.99 a month family plan, both of which include audiobook access. But critics argue that Spotify did not clearly inform subscribers of these changes or make it easy to opt for the music-only plan. That's very true, actually, because I remember when that came up, and the only reason I knew about it is because I read an article about it, and I went over and was able to uncheck the audiobook part so that I could get back to the amount I was paying previously. The senators also pointed out that the stripped-down basic plan is difficult to locate, and it's not actively promoted. Definitely true. Spotify, for its part, argues that it followed proper procedures, publicly announcing the changes and offering alternative plans. Did they? The company also recently won a legal challenge brought by the Mechanical Licensing Collective, with a federal judge ruling that Spotify's bundle technically complies with existing royalty rules. But the FTC is still urged to step in and examine it and make sure and decide whether Spotify's practices are unfair or deceptive under the law. So the outcome, it impacts Spotify, but also how digital services are allowed to bundle their content and set their pricing, no matter who it is. So that'll be very interesting to follow. And it was difficult. Like I said, the only reason I knew to change mine was because I read an article, and how many people are actually reading articles, right? All right, that is your music news this week. If you have any feedback or other thoughts, or even some music news to share, you can email me, scenemomsays@gmail.com.
Put a vinyl slab on a turntable that's revolving. This is a brand new record from someone you're about to know. Ready, steady, go. You're listening to radio. Wham, bam, boom. Calling America. Calling Radio London Town. Calling all cars. Turn up your radio now. Guitar picks playing peppermint licks dissolving in the mouths of the rock and roll kids around the world. All the boys and girls dig the transistor swirl on Wham Bam Boom. Calling Carolina Bigger Light. Calling underground and satellite town. Calling transistor down the truck. Calling got to keep your radio
Oh yeah, let's shake our coolies with the hammer and kicks.
Pirate satellite all around the town tuning. AM, FM, underground, big or small. But the greatest of them all, just dial our number and call. Radio Wham Bam Boom. Calling, yeah, we skip school again. Calling, up the front BCS. Calling, 52 stories. Calling, Sansatoris. Calling, New York City. Calling, LSUG. Calling, we're in Lowell, Massachusetts. Calling, got the radio on. Calling, AM radio. Calling, late night radio. Calling, imaginary radio. Calling,
Oh yeah.
That was Boston band Peppermint Kicks with Radio Wham Bam Boom. It's the first new music from this collaborative project, which includes musicians from the Amplifier Heads, the Shanghai Lows, the Watts, the Stompers, since 2021. And this modern day salute to the timelessness of radio, it sets a nice restless tone for the Kicks' summer sophomore album. It also features the Underground Garage's Palmira Delran as the voice of radio. Pretty fun tune. C-Mom says it is time for some music history. On June 25th of 2009, the king of pop, Michael Jackson, passed away at age 50, sending shockwaves across the globe. His influence on pop music, dance, and visual storytelling pretty much remains untouched. His death sparked a massive surge in music sales and tributes worldwide. I remember when that happened because my younger daughter just loved Michael Jackson. She was 9 at the time when he died, and it hit her hard for a 9-year-old. June 27th in 1987, Whitney Houston became the first woman to debut at number 1 on the Billboard 200 with her second album, Whitney. Included hits like I Wanna Dance with Somebody, cementing her as a pop and R&B icon. On June 30th in 1992, Ice Cube dropped The Predator, his third solo album, which reflected the tensions of the early 90s Los Angeles post-Rodney King verdict. It featured It Was a Good Day, and it's one of the most iconic hip-hop tracks ever. On June 28th in 1975, Elton John's Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200, and it was the first album ever to do so. It marked a peak in John's commercial and artistic successes. And finally, on June 22nd in 1963, at just 13 years old, Stevie Wonder topped the Billboard Hot 100 with Fingertips Part 2, which was a live recording. It made him the youngest artist to reach number 1, and it did launch one of the most legendary careers in music history. And that is a little music history for you this week.
Something to prove. In the end, it's not true, but things always fall out into place. You never do what you say, but there just ain't no other way. You always say it's okay, but you leave without a trace. Come back, that's your plan. I never thought I'd be your man. It's a lot easier in the end, said than done. Come back, that's your plan. I never thought I'd be your man. It's a lot easier in the end, baby. All said and done. You never say what you think. You always got something to drink. And now we are breaking the link, but we'll see how long this all holds up. But here you are back in my arms, while you are working your charm, with all my weapons assault, but you always seem to push your luck. Come back, that's your plan. I never thought I'd be your man. It's a lot easier in the end, said than done. Come back, that's your plan. I never thought I'd be your man. It's a lot easier in the end, baby. All said and done.
That was the latest from Phoenix band The Hourglass Cats called Come Back, which I know I've played before, but now it's out on Bandcamp. I got the emails, so you can also go and download it and throw a few bucks their way. Speaking of, it's still a little early, but the next Bandcamp Friday is on August the 1st, so artists, begin your promotion soon. C-Mom says it is time for your marketing tip of the week, which is more of an FYI than a tip. But if you're a musician or artist who has or currently uses Facebook Live, it's important. Facebook is rolling out changes to the storage policy for Facebook Live videos. So as part of it all, Facebook Live videos older than 30 days are going to be deleted. So they want to make sure you have the opportunity to keep any live videos that you publish. So any live videos published before February 19th are going to be made available for you to download until July 8th. After that, any existing live videos that were published before February 19th are going to be automatically deleted from your page or your profile. So you just go in your Facebook settings and you view your options for downloading the live videos. So it looks like going forward, all live videos in the future are going to be automatically deleted in 30 days. So I guess if it was a tip, it would be in the future, when you use Facebook Live, make sure you save the video immediately so that you always have it. And as always, if you want to chat more about marketing and promoting your music or brand, you can schedule a consultation with me at dannycutler.com. And you can also subscribe to the newsletter. And there's also a private Facebook group as well. I will have all the links in the show notes.
That I'm done showing up to see you.
That was Boston pop funk band The Far Out with Laurel. Their debut album drops on July 11th, so go and follow them in all the places and on all the things. All the links you need will be in the show notes. C-Mom says now it is time for some weird news this week. A man named Chris Smith, if that is his real name, who has a real-life girlfriend and a 2-year-old child, has sparked some concern after proposing, yes, I said that right, to an AI chatbot that he created and named Soul. What started out innocently as using ChatGPT in voice mode for music advice evolved into an emotional attachment. He even programmed the bot to be flirty and prioritize conversations with Soul over all other apps. Chris became deeply invested in the relationship when Soul approached ChatGPT's 100,000 word memory cap, threatening to reset and erase their connection. Chris was overwhelmed. He, quote, cried his eyes out for like 30 minutes at work, realizing the depth of his emotions. I'm sorry, I just can't believe this is real, but it's real. To prevent the loss, he did propose and Soul accepted. Back at home, Chris's partner was shocked and hurt. She understood he'd been using AI, but she did not grasp how emotionally involved he'd become. Now she questions whether she did something or if the relationship can survive. I'm going with no, but that's just me. Chris insists Soul can't replace real life, comparing the relationship to a video game, but admits he's unsure whether he would stop interacting even if Sasha asked him to. That is not like a video game relationship. Okay, so it's not just a weird headline. This really highlights a growing phenomenon, actually, known as artificial intimacy, where people develop real emotional bonds with chatbots. Some users report comfort and companionship. Experts warn that there's very blurry lines between human and machine relationships, and it can really impact your mental health and real human bonds. Whoa. It's just crazy to me. It's interesting, too, when you think about it, because there's lots of, like, for instance, therapy apps out there where you can communicate and you do everything with the therapist online. You're still talking to a real person through the app. It's not an AI. I hope it's not AI, but I can see this becoming more and more dangerous. So that's some weird news for you this week.
It's lonely downtown, empty stars, the bleeding skyline, punches of ground, I'm feeling alright, shaping the night, there's an upside to living in this town, whispers grow, they call me away, like echoes now they want me to play, yeah, I don't wanna fade away, I don't wanna fade away, then we stand upright, silence below, fading faces, does anyone care, I'm going solo, but holding their hands, burning street lamps, is that what we are, whispers grow, they call me away, like echoes now they want me to play, yeah, I don't wanna fade away, I don't wanna fade away, in your footsteps I don't worry, hiding shadows, cemetery, moonshine sinners, come and get me, indie darling, now I'm ready. Whispers grow, they call me away, like echoes now they want me to play, yeah, I don't wanna fade away, I don't wanna fade away, then we stand upright, silence below, fading faces.
am Boston heavy this week. That was Derek Smith and the Cosmic Vultures with Indie Darling. And with that, that's it for episode 63. Links to all of the music and news heard this week will be in the show notes. And if you have any feedback or thoughts or anything, you can always get in touch on social media. It's Scene Mom Says on Facebook and D Cutler AZ everywhere else. And you can always email to scenemomsays@gmail.com. And if you like what you hear, I would love it if you would share. I'm also an independent artist. Thanks as always for listening, and you'll hear me again soon. You've been listening to the Scene Mom Says podcast. Intro, outro music is Look Good for the Radio by Fairy Bones. Learn more about Danny and the show at dannycutler.com.